Hello, 7th grade Mason Middle School parents or students. This is a quick tutorial to show you the best way that you can effectively use your Science Edline page, your 7th grade Science Edline page. So right now I am a teacher. I am logged in. All of my classes are going to be science, but for you, you'd have to scroll down to the most wonderful subject, of course, which would be whatever science class you happen to be in. Go ahead and click that link, and that's going to take you obviously to your science page. Now it looks very sparse here. We do have an awesome meme, little joke here in the middle, but besides that, it looks a little sparse. Do not be alarmed. There is a gazillion pieces of content available to you to make sure that your student has a successful year. This video tutorial, we're going to start here by looking at this link. Every unit has a title or a theme. Our first unit for science is matter and pH. And to keep this nice and clean and not complicated, we only post the first unit, or the unit that you're going to be in at that present time. So all of your students' documents they're going to need access to throughout the entire first unit are found in this link. So you just click it, and right away it's going to take you to, it's called OneDrive here. Let me zoom this in a little bit so you can see it a little bigger. Okay. There are 3 different sections that you have available to you, and if you prefer this in list view, you can do that too by clicking that. You have documents from class activities that are all the documents that we want the kids to have access to from our class activities. Obviously, we're not going to give them like the keys to the test or anything. That would just make life way too easy. So if they click that, you will see that this first unit, matter and pH, is broken into some common themes. We're going to be doing stuff with air, elements, metals, nonmetals, metalloids, compounds, all the documents that the kids would need at any particular moment would be found under those links. So if we're studying metals and nonmetals and they're missing one of the pages they need, or they want to go back and look at the notes that we gave in class, they can do that. They can go access those, and they have that available. So literally every document that we would be giving in class is available to them in the documents from class activities. That is useful. It is probably not the most useful of all of these. The second link here, the Reteaching and Online Library, this is going to have all of our reteaching materials for every concept that we have, as well as critical facts and information that go along with that. If we take an assessment and the kids struggle and they need to go back and reteach themselves, that would be labeled here. That FA1 stands for Formative Assessment 1. So they could go in and they could reteach themselves whatever they messed up. It's also a good way for them to preview and kind of practice prepping for the test, because this is the key concepts that go along with each question. There's no secrets here. There's certain things we want them to learn, and as long as they learn it, we don't care if they study it ahead of time. But here's the other useful tool. All of our objectives for the students are broken down by I can statements. These I can statements you can see here. For example, one of the first things we'll be teaching them is that we want them to be able to identify that elements have properties that include melting and boiling points. Great. So you can see we got a link here. They could click the link. That will take them to a website that has some reteaching materials. This link would take them to something that's made by the MMS instructors, and we plan on building this library up as we go through the year. Our later units already have a lot of videos made because we started doing this towards the end of last year. So there's a ton of stuff available on here for you. That's great reteaching information. The final thing would be the critical facts. So some students just like to know, like, what is the least that I need to know? What are the things that I really have to have? Well, the critical facts are just that. This takes you through everything we're learning about, elements, mixtures, the main important points that you would need to know. The last thing, and I don't want to bore you with it too much, but every unit is also going to have extension activities. Sometimes this is just an interactive website that the kids could go to. Sometimes it's a learning opportunity that could go above and beyond. So if your kids love science and they just really get into that, then that would be a great place to find that. Okay, now for more of what's useful in terms of knowing what you're being tested on. This checklist is available in all of our units as well. And when you click the checklist, you're going to notice it's broken down by assessment. So in this section right here, we have Formative Assessment 1. These are all the I can statements that go along with formative assessment 1. And in these I can statements here, every question is directly linked to one of those. We will never ask a question on a test that is not directly linked to one of these I can statements. So as long as the kids know these concepts and prepare adequately for these, that is exactly what will be on the assessment. And that would be formative assessment 1. We as teachers would track their data and effectively know whether or not they're grasping the concept, and we'd meet with the kids who weren't grasping the concept, go back and reteach. That way, when we get to the end of the total unit, that summative assessment where they're being tested on everything, kind of like what we associate with like a final exam for the unit, that summative assessment is going to have all the key concepts in one place. And by that point, of course, we'll have all the kids mastering those concepts, hopefully. That's our goal, at least. So that's the checklist, also very useful. So if you see that a formative assessment 1 is coming up and you want to know what to help the kids study with, you have a ton of tools available to you. Not only do you have everything that they had in class, but you also will have the exact concepts that are going to be taught. If they're struggling with one in particular and you can tell they're struggling, just go back to that reteaching library, either look at the critical facts or look at that online library where there are links provided for each topic. Hopefully you guys will make good use of this. Our goal is to get these kids learning these concepts and also to make it as engaging and fun as we can for them. There will also be some more stuff posted to help you understand how we're approaching homework and notifying you of assignments and stuff like that. It's a very effective way too. So you can take a gander at that video if you just love science so much you can't get enough of it. Thank you very much. Have a great day.